Looks like we made the switch, but again, kicked everybody from the stream. All right, so well, all the same. 3:30, 3:30, 3:32 now. Actually, late day Q&A for me here. So open forum. Anybody with questions, fire those away for me. Open forum as always. No pre-done content. I know there's some different people I've interacted with throughout during the day. Hopefully, some of you showed up to ask some of those questions and have them demonstrated for you. So we start the year with the same theme as we did all last year: chop and slop. So bring up a quick chart here of the SPY, and nice little bottom tail there on the daily that we just made. It's where we closed the year. This is where we opened the year, right there on that 15-minute chart. Ran right up, ran right down, ran back up, ran back down, and then kind of grinding higher for the rest of the day here. So slop and chop, that's where we're at. I'd imagine that most of the indexes all look the same. Oops, that was not what I wanted. There we go. Perfect. And let's see, RSP. Imagine you'll look something similar. This one even a little more so than the other ones. To build an alert like that, Nicole. So any alerts are an event. So I don't think we have that as an event specifically. What you could do is build a top list and then add values to the distance from 20 and 200 SMAs to try to find something kind of close to that. But as far as a specific alert, this is what we have for alerts on SMAs. And unfortunately, when these SMA alerts were created, there was a volume confirmation code that was put into them that apparently does not work how we originally thought, and we cannot just remove it. The alerts just don't work, period, when we remove that code. So we're trying to troubleshoot how we can make these better than what they are. But as the dev team says to me when I ask, it'll be ready when it's ready. So, you're asking, 20 to 200. Here we have 20 and 200, a few different ones of that on some different time frames. But again, some of these alerts will appear to come in late because it's waiting for some kind of volume confirmation. And it's not just about shares traded. It has to do with shares traded or volume percent over a specific period of time relative to what the actual volume is. So, or what the average volume has been over a certain period of time. I don't understand the coding in it, as I'm not a coder, but that's what we have pre-built like that as far as an alert goes. So your other options are to create an alert window with the distance from SMAs. So, and let's go back to the SMAs real quick. And Perfect Circle, Happy New Year's to you. Yes, same old shop, exactly. Same old shop. You can select the SMA that you want here as filters. Give values to those as, as the distance from. And then from there, you'll have to decide on an alert or an event that you want to be coupled with those filters, So New high, for example, you're going to be tying your hands that if it isn't meeting those filters of those SMAs and making a new high on the day, you're not going to get an alert, regardless that the filters may be, near that cross or at that cross. You can try some different alert combinations together for it. Maybe a new high, new 5-minute high, 15, 60-minute high, maybe some kind of breaking resistance or channel breakout, something like that. And you could pick a few different alerts to, accompany those filters, or you could simply just do a top list. Hopefully that makes sense. Let me know if that's making sense there, Nicole. Yeah, it's going to be some trial and error for you there. Let me look here in my cloud to see if I have some kind of template or something you can go off of. This is a template you can try to work off of as far as a top list goes. It's looking for the 20, 50, and 200 all to be kind of close. Some alerts will be what or some of the stocks return there will be what you're looking for. Some will be absolutely nothing like what you're looking for. But it gives you, it gives you kind of a snapshot or an idea of what you'll need to try to figure out or find. So, and again, 340 here. Yeah, you're welcome, Nicole. It's a live Q&A here, folks. So if you folks have questions, please ask those questions. I don't have any pre-done content to entertain you with. We can dive through some charts, of course. But, this is set up for you all to drive the content, get your questions answered. Adam, it'll be Sorry, an internal chat here with the disgruntled user. Um, so if they're not working, that means there's an alert or a filter that's not working there. I don't know if running up works in the pre or post market for alerts, but some of these alerts in here and some of these filters do not work in the regular, or excuse me, in the pre and post market hours. For example, relative volume. Uh, this relative volume filter does not work in pre-market. So if you have this in your scan, it will not work in the pre-market, your scan. This relative volume alert here, that will work in the that will work in the pre-market. So you could substitute that if that was something that you were looking to do. We have a PDF of everything that does and doesn't work in the pre-market. If you want to send an email to here, info@trade-ideas.com, I can get you that PDF. The general rule of thumb: if it works in the pre-market, it works in the post-market, unless, of course, it specifically says pre-market. So, for example, pre-market highs obviously won't work in the post-market. Like these alerts here obviously don't work in the post-market, but we have the post-market version of those instead for you there, and that's what you would substitute in. But for example, like this new high doesn't work pre or post market. This is just a regular market hours filter, regular market hours alert. If you need further troubleshooting of the scan specifically, also, Adam, you can always send a cloud link of the scan over to us at that email address I just shared. All right, perfect, Adam. Look for that coming in. Hopefully that works its way through its system, and if I don't get to it, someone else will get to it before me. So, I had some people with Holly questions throughout the day here that I interacted with in our support chat and emails. I don't know if any of you are currently here. Happy to go over some Holly stuff for you if you are. I don't want to bore anybody to death otherwise, but I mean, Holly putting on a pretty darn good show again today here. So we can always go over that. My example stock for view op breakout for close. So CPOP. Right. Well, I also think a lot of in that last half hour, volume was starting to come into the market that day too in general. So, it's kind of typical to see that. But yeah, for whatever reason, those cross alerts were coded with volume confirmation in them, and no good deed goes unpunished. That's all I can say. And it's kind of left us holding a bag with it that just simply uncoding that volume confirmation doesn't do what we want it to do. So again, anybody with questions, let me know. Not directly, Esley. I believe we could do an external linking of it, meaning that if we click a symbol here in Trade Ideas, it'll send that symbol over to either your charts or your order entry box in Webull. But you can't directly trade through us with Webull. Only we only directly link to interactive brokers and E-Trade like that currently. So, like to give you an example of what I'm talking about, this window here, this is my time and sales window from interactive brokers through Trader Workstation. It's not, um, this is not a TI product here, but if you watch as I click a symbol here in Trade Ideas, it'll populate my time and sales window. So that's what you would get with the external linking for Webull. And then you'd have to share size and execute the order yourself from there. Versus, if you had IB or E-Trade, we have an interface we call Brokerage Plus. You could then directly trade from actually. So there's, the two differences in what we can do for linking. The external linking, which is what I just demonstrated to you, and then there's the direct linking, which we call through which we do through our Brokerage Plus. Yeah, of course. If you have a subscription and you're looking to do the external linking, I have a great video that goes over it with Thinkorswim. But the same concept applies. So, all right, keep the questions coming for me, folks. If not, I get to have I had nothing to do with building it. Humble brag on Holly today. Just real solid, both long and short side today as we come to the close. Great alert here, BLDR. Even this one that isn't looking great now. Look at all this time that it was down, all the way down to here. And this is why I always preach Holly being human and machine, not just letting Holly go on her own. Realistically, what trader would let this happen? You get all the way down here and you're going to let it come all the way back to here and exit on a time exit? No, I'm sorry. That's not what a real trader would do. And Holly's not a human being. She's programmed by algorithms. Those algorithms back test and optimize. But when an order's sent, That's the only thing. She doesn't have the ability to adjust on the fly like a human being does. What she does adjust is the optimization process that she goes through every night to optimize each of these different strategies she has by doing thousands and thousands of simulations, which a human being cannot possibly do. So again, this was not a great exit on an amazing entry versus this was something that just kind of you could let hold for a long time today. But again, came down here and it made that move back up, after, half an hour plus on that move down before getting another release down to here. So again, why human and machine? That's the combination you want with Holly. NIO. And this is just a grinder all day long here. To have this, you have to have the premium service first there, Adam. And then to see that, you'd want to come to new in Holly, AI Holly strategy window, AI Holly strategy trades window. All right. You want the trades window, not the strategy window, strategy trades window. And that will load up this right here. And then, if you could right click, you can come to columns and you can decide what you want to display for the information that's here. And then, when Holly enters any trade, there's things you can see on the chart with her as well. So she'll always put out a stop price, all right, and of course her entry price. Sometimes she has a target, sometimes it's a timed exit, and so that's just going to be getting out on the timed. Today's the last day, Lee, on the New Year's 25%. I don't know when the next 25% will be. If I were to take a stab in the dark here, I suspect it'll be after our test drive, which I think is going to be actually around Valentine's Day. Now, we were trying to do it at the end of January, but there's rules about when we can and cannot provide market data to people based on certain things, time frames, so on and so forth, as the NYSE and the NASDAQ are very strict about that stuff. So we had to move it back into February. And so after that, I would believe there'll be a 25%. I don't know if there'll be one before that or not for, I don't know, Martin Luther King Day, maybe 20%. I'm not sure there, Lee. Anybody that's here and they're looking to take advantage of that before it goes dead at midnight tonight. I mean, you can, this is the link here. Let me find that. That's the link for the 25% off signing up. Create a break room on 1 minute chart. Yeah, I guess you could do that perfect circle. What's going to happen with the heartbeat is that it pushes out. You can set it so it pushes out every 30 seconds. So it'll still update like a top list, not an alert. So it's not going to alert you the second the filters are met. It'll alert you on that pulse, essentially, that the filters had been met in that 30 seconds, if I'm making sense there. No, you're in the neighborhood, I'd say, perfect circle. So that's the short and skinny on Holly, anyways. Today. Um, what else are we looking at? Here's a chart of interest. That's an alert that I've been forward testing now and looking at and working. Yeah, it looked good early here. Got a signal on this right down here. Made a nice move, and then that happened. That was an interesting chart today. You don't see that every day. I'll say that for sure. It must have been some news, obviously, or something. 137 times normal relative volume. And 28.8 million shares traded today. So that thing was off the charts for volume compared to what it normally does here. All right, again, if anybody has questions, please let me know. Sorry, just troubleshooting a few other things that are going on here while you're all so silent on me. Quiet first day of the year. Yes, Lee, the test drive will include everything except live automation. And people all the time ask, oh, why can't we have live automation? And the simple reason is because we have an incredible amount of people that have never traded in their entire lives that want to automate. And handing the keys to live automation um, is not a good idea to people like that. What is the most optimal setup to catch runners with good volume? I mean, it's a subjective question, Adam, because what you consider good volume, I might not consider good volume. I like to see stocks that trade. If it can get over 600,000 shares in a day, that's good for me. Other people think, that's not liquid enough for them. I can share a few scans with you that you might find of interest and go over a few other scans that you might find of interest. And, from there, you can kind of determine what you think and always make some adjustments on those scans, Adam. Mike C., Happy New Year, man. So let me start. I'll drop a link. This is a high of day momentum scan based on some volume metrics. It's a multi-window scan. Let me find that for you. Sorry, just going through my cloud. So this is going to have several scans within one window for you there, Adam. All right. We'll start there. Um, Here's one that I really like. Now, again, this becomes that subjective question. Some of these in here, they'll all have some relative volume in them, and these are all going to be making new highs, Adam, new all-time highs. But some will be more thinly traded on the actual volume side versus the relative volume side. But still, I think it's another good multi-window that I really like. Um, what's another one? Oh, here's another one that should be good for you. This is for stocks making new highs and new lows on the day with some serious volume going on. And you can kind of go through these scans and, take a look at what they're doing. And then give me a second, we'll load some stuff up here. All right, there we go. So, all right, sorry about that. Some very upset user trying to work things out for him here. So, all right, let's go over some stuff in the doc channel bar here for you there, Adam. All right, let's see. So we can come to the momentum channel. Where are you, momentum? There we go. In this channel here, um, and if we right click, we can come into this scan here. So this might be something you want to, take a look at here. And we go to configure. We can go into any one of these scans, and you can do this with all the scans I shared, Adam. You can come into configure, and you can see what the scan is looking at. And these kind of volume metrics don't meet what you're looking for, you don't like the price range or anything like that, you can make edits there. And then after you make any edits that you want, simply you're going to right click again. Sorry, I just want to close a few programs here. They're really hanging me up here. I have a lot of stuff running. You can go ahead and right click and then save or share to cloud, and then you save those changes that you made to your cloud, and then they'll be up there in your cloud whenever you want that scan or however you want to load that. It's just if you make changes to the channel bar, you can't save those changes in the channel bar itself. You have to save that particular scan and then move forward like that. Yeah, perfect circle. He's claiming that the software did something to a broker of his or something. I don't know. So I had to reach out to that broker support and talk to them. Kind of, it was one of the reasons you hear me typing so furiously right now. Anyways, it is what it is. Uh, you know, People get upset when they lose money. That's all there is to it, myself included. I can't blame anybody for that. So Adam, let me know if what I kind of went over just made sense to you there. And you can go through any one of these channels here. You want to any one of these here, alpha predator, stock surging, any one of these here, and you can right click on every single one of them, go into the configure, check out the scan, see what you think. And then as always, I also tell people, if you have an idea of something you want built, as long as it's not something insane, now again, kind of subjective what we consider insane and what other people might consider insane, you can send us an email to info at, and with some of the parameters that you're looking for, and we could build you a template and send it back over to you. And again, you can make any adjustments from there that you like. And get rid of this extra channel bar that's there. Whoa, what an alert that was off of this one here. Very nice. I got it towards the, yeah, no, like in the middle here of that. Not bad. A great move afterwards. This one, not so much. That was an ugly one. So again, if you folks have, questions, got about 18 minutes and change before I wrap up for the first day of 2022 here. I actually see more people in here than I've seen in a long time, at least according to the stream numbers. So again, it's an open forum. Whatever those questions are that you folks have, please ask them. So I always say I don't have any pre-done content. You all drive the content with your questions, whether it be scanning or we can always look at a chart. CNTB. Let's see. Oh, this is on my liked list. Yeah, China. My problem with this is the volume right now, and how beat up it is. So just eking out 500,000 shares today, and then look at how this is kind of skipping around like this. I almost took it here on Friday, as a matter of fact. And then it did that, and I'm like, damn it, I should have took it. And then it did that, and I said, damn it, I'm a genius. And then it did this today, and I said, damn it, I should have took it. Hindsight trading and all that stuff like that. But that gap, no, I like this very much overall. You got this pattern here. You got this great gap right here. And in all honesty, It's not exactly a high risk there. It's a high reward and a low risk in my personal opinion, anyways. We're looking at a bottom here just before $4. So back here when I was looking at it, no, I'm lying. Back here when I was looking at it the other day, you're talking about risking not even $1.50 to looking up here at even 10. You're risking $1.50 to make almost five. I mean, it's a great R. And even now at this still, that gap is up here somewhere probably around $13. Even if you use this as the stop still, and you used a 10 for your target, and that doesn't mean it's going to get to 10, and that's not what I'm basing how I'm going to exit it on personally. um, but just saying that the potential R versus the potential R, upside and downside, is really really good. No, I know exactly, perfect circle. That's one of the things that appeals to me too. It's China. That's my other problem. And here's my other problem when it comes to China. This chart, I mean, just look at that daily chart. Good accord, no bad discord. I don't know what that means, but okay. If you could elaborate on that, and then FXI is your Chinese large caps, and I mean this chart is just as ugly as that. So it holds me away from if it's something from China, I want to take it as a day trade, not a swing trade, and I'm really usually more looking for swing trade setups. So that's what's holding me out. So all right, sorry, just reading some feedback here. Fire some questions, people. Fire some questions, please. So on my liked list here today, let's take a look here. I didn't really take much off over the weekend because I want to try to let things set up with volume for the next few days, and then I'll let the price and volume determine what stays. But look, Hymex today got smashed. So easy come, easy go. I mean, look at that. That is an ugly day for that. My personal favorite scanner is what I call my evening scan. Modified version of it now that I'm using more because I upped the price range on this. So let me find these and I'll show you my evening scan. All right, so this was the original one here. There's nothing fancy about it. I like it. I like the stocks or returns for ideas. I do my scanning in the evening with it. Things that I like, I put a heart on the my liked here, and I run a list that only looks at those stocks. If we right click and come to the configure, window specific filter. So I'm looking at this was looking at stocks between $4 and $30. They had to have a relative volume of one, traded 750,000 shares on the day. They have to be above 75% above the low of a 20-day range and 75% above the low of today's range. I was finding it was a few weeks I really wasn't getting any ideas returned from this, so I changed this up a little bit. All right, and here's the second version that I now have of it. And I, of course, readily share these with anybody that wants them. There's no secret sauce in this. There's nothing special. I find setups that I like, um, and that's what I go with. So this one here, now I'm looking at stocks between 4 and 40 instead of 4 and 30. Still the relative volume, still the volume today factor, but I removed the position in today's range just because I wanted to see some stuff that was, maybe it was strong on a daily chart, but just had a not great day today, but started meeting the volume metrics. And so let's go through a few of these and see if we can't find anything that I like chart wise here. So, all right, here's one. Yes and no, I like. All right, we're in a bad downtrend. All right, so I don't like that. But what I like is this pattern here. All right, this has got a lot to fight through it, so I'm not going to go with that. But this is what I'm looking for here. But stocks that don't have this massive downtrend that's going on that. So it's a good and bad example. Well, we'll click through a few of these and see what we can't find. Let's see, PAGS. So this one a little more interesting to me. All right, we've got this beautiful base that's formed. All right, yes, we've got to fight through this, but if we can get through that, that's a nice wall to climb right there. So while it's in this massive downtrend, it has made a very nice base here and something to work off of that base, which I like very much. And so, yeah, nice and liquid stock. All right, doing around its normal volume, has a decent day today. It's not running away from anything right here. So I'm going to go ahead. This will make my cut. So I'm kind of doing some of my homework tonight there, Lee. And so I'm going to put a liked on there. And now it'll populate on this list. And this scan only looks at the stocks that I tell it to look at. If we come to configure and we come to window specific filters, there's no filters in this whatsoever. All I've done is in the symbols list section, told it only the following list, which is called My Liked Personal, and that's it. That's all it looks at. And then it'll sort them on change from close percent, and I have a few other columns that display some data that I chose to display, some change from close percent dollars and percent, change from change from open percent in dollars, volume shares traded today, and that's really it. And I monitor these stocks. Some I have some day trading interest in. Mostly I have some swing trading interest or other long term interests in them. What does distance from inside market mean? It's just a way to filter out bad prints. That's all there, Adam. Sometimes you'll see, when you have your bid and ask, sometimes you'll see a print that comes that's outside that range, and essentially that this is a way to make sure that we don't see any bad prints like that. What? So what will make you get into that trade? MGI. Where's MGI? MGI. Oh, all right. I don't know how we ended up on that one. MGI. There are several factors. One, I have to have money that I'm ready to allocate to the stock. Two, price and volume. So we've got a nice pattern that's formed here for me, all right? However, we got this overhead resistance and declining volume here. And I'm not going to enter something that's running into resistance with declining volume. That equals a fake out 90% of the time. If this volume was ascending and we're coming up against this, then perhaps I'm going to want to enter it. The other things that I have to consider is where's my risk and where's my possible risk, where's my possible reward. My possible reward has to outweigh my possible risk. Right now, my possible reward is somewhere in this level. We got to climb through that, and then it's somewhere in this level. Where's my possible risk? I guess I could say here, but this tail makes me hesitant to say there. So now we're looking at these levels. Just for argument's sake, let's say 775 is where I'm going to enter. So I'm looking at, possible 730 ish downside, and I'm looking at a possible $9 upside. So that equals a decent risk and reward. So, like I said, the only thing that's holding me out right now is this continued declining volume. And even today was declining volume again as we run into that resistance. So it's telling me, yeah, we made it all the way up here, but look, we exhausted all of our volume getting to that level. And since we got to that level, volume continues to decline. And no thanks. It's going to be a no for me, dog. But that doesn't mean that I don't have interest in it tomorrow, the next day. Any day could be that day's stock. So it has a pattern that I like. It has possible risk reward that's beneficial to me and my account. And so I'm going to continue to monitor it. Hopefully that makes sense there, Trading Journey. No, Lee, I don't use a lot of alert windows because I'm not really a day trader. I mean, I do some day trading. Most of my day trading is going to come through this window here and this window here. And all this window is doing is looking at this list with some new high metrics and volume involved in it. A very simple scan, but it's only going to be the stocks that are on this list here. Aside from that, I'm really trying to find things that I can hold for 2, 3, 4, 5 days or longer that have that run in it. That's where the real money is, not in day trading. If a day trading setup presents itself, I'm going to take it. But there's a lot of factors to me. I don't like things that are whipping all over the place whatsoever. I don't like large spreads. I don't like if the range is too big for me. I have a range that I like. So, if something, moves 30 cents in like 90 seconds or 2 minutes, I'm probably not going to take a trade in that. That's just too much whip for me. My personality doesn't handle that kind of movement very quickly, Lee. So that's why I don't like those things. Something I am working on is this scan here. I'm always happy to share any scans. So if anybody wants scans that I'm talking about here, just let me know. I don't know if everybody here is, a subscriber or not. Trading Journey, I'm pretty sure you have most of these scans, but if you don't, let me know. I'll throw those out there. I'll put the links in anyways, all the same. But so this is something that I've been working on, and I've been experimenting with this alert instead of the new high alerts, this breaking resistance here, or cross above resistance, I'm sorry. Just because, a lot of times, especially for me day trading, it's especially early on, my first 2 years of trading, I can't count how many times something hit a new high on the day. I'm like, all right, the volume's there. Everything looks good on this day trade. I buy it and I bought the top of the day, the last new high of the day. I can't even begin to tell you how many times that happened. So I prefer this crossed above resistance because it doesn't have to be a new high on the day that's crossing that resistance to get me that alert. I've been playing with it more, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that one. So, all right, you don't have that one yet? Let me find it for you here. And I didn't do a lot of optimizing on this. And I'll be honest, my goal with this is to send it as a automated strategy. But right now I'm forward testing it. And what do I mean by forward testing it? It means I created the alert and I'm monitoring it day by day and re-back testing it as the next day as a new day passes. Let me find that. Off highs breaking resistance. So here's this. There's off highs breaking resistance. The My Evening scans, I'll share them both with you. So this is the updated one coming in next, where all I really did was remove the position in today's range, and I just upped the price range on it by $10. And this is the original one that I've been using this one for a while, but like I said, I'm getting a little more comfortable with more expensive stocks now. So that's that. So there's those three for you. I've been watching you on and off for a while. I was going to purchase 20, but I think I need to do test drive to commit to. Yeah, listen, I'll tell you this, Lee. My path to trade ideas, long before I worked here, was I stalked trade ideas for several months. Thanks, Mike C. Thanks for popping in. Take care, buddy. I stalked trade ideas for several months, and doing exactly what you're doing. Then I took a test drive after like 3 months of attending Q&As and stuff like that, and traders room. And then after the test drive, I subscribed, and that was several years ago. So I think that's a good way to do it. Do you have a link for the test drive? We don't have the registration open, but I can give you a link that'll let you know when the registration opens if you want. Yeah, no, and that's the thing too, Lee. You'll hit the ground running, and you'll be better off for it. I try to tell people this all the time that are trying to like rush in, like I got to make money today in trading. I'm like, first off, if that's your mentality, you're if your mentality is you've really never traded much and you must start making money now, you're setting yourself up for failure. And I'm saying that from experience because it's not how trading works. Getting the hang of the software for most people, I think, isn't the difficult part. It's overcoming the all the mental stuff with trading itself. And that's I got the hang of the software once I started using it. I'll say like within 2 months I was like pretty proficient with the software. It was 2 years before I became a profitable trader, though. And it was through nobody's fault but my own. I just kept making mistakes. I didn't know how to manage. I had no trading plan whatsoever. I just bought a stock because I hit a screener. There's no plan behind buying it. I bought it, and all of a sudden it went down. I was like, oh well, now what do I do? Yeah, I learned that I had to have the answer to question. The question, what do I do before I enter the stock, before I enter the trade? So it is what it is. That's the name of the game. And I try to tell people we're going to be here. The stock market will be here. The people that will not be here are the ones that rush in to trade without having all the information they really need to be successful, essentially. So, all right, 4:32. That's gonna wrap it up for me today here. I appreciate everybody coming in, all the questions, comments, interactions as always. I do this every day at 3:30 Eastern, Monday through Friday, at least on market days, anyways. Barry will open the stream as always on the YouTube side tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. He'll run it till 12 p.m. Eastern, where he passes it off for an hour for a live Q&A just like this. Barry will come back, take that stream at 1 p.m. Eastern, run it till 3:30. and then he will pass it over to me at 3:30. And that is our format, Monday through Friday of market days. All right. Your welcome trading journey, always a pleasure. And any other questions you folks have, you can always hit us here, info@trade-ideas.com. And we will see you on that side as well. All right. Thank you, everybody. Take care. Have a great rest of your first Monday of 2022.